Hello and welcome to Art History of America online at DeSales University. I'm James Small, professor for the class, and in this video I'm just going to walk through some of the basic procedures the way I have the course designed. So let's take a look at Blackboard. So here we are at Blackboard, and under Start here you'll see a little welcome that I have here, course overview, some details on how the course is going to work, and so a few other additional things, including a little biography on me. So first things first is that the course is going to be broken down into 15 classes. So we only have, again, 3 weeks to complete a course that is equal to a 16-week semester. So under weekly units, you'll see that I've broken the course down into the 3 weeks that we have, and I have highlighted here on the front part of the folder what exactly we're going to be doing for each of these 3 weeks. So the basic procedure is going to be read the assigned textbook, review the assigned PowerPoint, view any of the assigned videos, and then post into the discussion board. Scrolling down here, you'll see that there is a vocabulary on the elements of art. If you open this up, it's a PDF file. The elements of art, as well as the principles of art, are described here. This should be a useful document for you if you don't have much experience in regard to talking about art. So back to the weekly units. If you go into week 1, you'll see that I've broken it down into 5 classes, and I have posted here the chapters that you are to be reading in the text, videos that you should watch for this section, and then the slides to review in the PowerPoint. So each class has this laid out for week 1. Down toward the bottom here you will see there is a folder which contains all the videos for the week 1 assignments. You'll also see here under PowerPoints, and this is going to download the PowerPoint for you, and then we can take a quick look at the PowerPoint. So here is a class syllabus which you'll find in Blackboard under syllabus, which is also going to download a PDF file for you. So the basic information here is the dates from the 20th to the 8th of June. Required text, again, I did post an announcement about the fact that this text only goes to 1900, and it is broken down into 2 volumes. So I would strongly recommend you get both volumes in order to make sure you have the most detailed information. I will be providing videos as well as a PowerPoint that will cover that material. So basic information about learning objectives for the course. Again, it's an online course, method of instruction. Most of this is standard information you'll see on any course syllabus at DeSales. Here we get into evaluation and assessments. There's going to be 3 total exams weighted equally. And then you will also be doing 15 total discussion board posts, which will equal 20 points apiece. Therefore, that will total 300 points. The 3 exams will be 100 points each, so therefore 50% of your grade will be the discussion boards, 50% will be the exams. So here are the chapters per unit that you are to cover, and here are the dates within the syllabus. For class 1, again, if you go back to Blackboard and we take a quick look at that again, under week 1, under class 1, chapters 4 and chapters 5. There are PDF files also on Blackboard. If you scroll to the bottom, unit 1 images. So here are the images broken down from 1 through class 5, and each weekly unit contains this broken down in the same manner. So if you look at the class PDF, This contains all 15 images that are covered on day 1 of the course. And here you'll find those images in order, both chronologically as in regard to the textbook. So this is not the entire textbook. These are the images I've chosen to highlight for section 1. I posted an announcement earlier today specifying the way in which you will be assigned these images in regard to the discussion posts. That is explained here. You will also find this under weekly units. When you scroll to the bottom, class list with numbers. And here you'll see, again, the explanation of how you are to be assigned an image from the list. So again, if you're number 1 on the list, for class 1, this will be the image that you'll be looking at. And you'll be making a post into the discussion board based on class 1. So if we take a quick look at the PowerPoint for the class, the PowerPoint will download for you when you utilize, when you go on to the discussion, when you go into the weekly units. So here is the Unit 1 PowerPoint. Again, take a look through this. I've gone through the text, read the text for each section, and I have included information here that is pertinent to both the introduction of what we're talking about, display of status, portraiture in New England, and in reference, therefore, to each image within this section. So this is a review from the textbook. So read the text first, use this as a review. So what I'm looking for as a discussion post is similar to what I have here. So again, here's the first image. It's an unknown artist by unknown artist, and it is a portrait of John Freak. Here we have information in regard to the idea of Puritans arriving in America and how images were created and the belief system of the Puritan people and how that relates to the time period. So then there is some more detailed information on that specific work of art. And as we move through this, each one essentially does the same thing, giving you some basic background information. So back on Blackboard, if you look into the discussion boards, I also have a link for the discussion boards within each weekly unit. So here is the exact description of what I'm looking for. So you will be assigned a specific image. To read the information about it in the text. The text should provide you majority of what you would need. So I'm looking for you to post the text into the discussion board. I'm looking for you to include both stylistic and contextual influences. So when we look back over to the PowerPoint, we take a look at some of these. The text is going to cover this type of information for you. For example, these early paintings here are strongly influenced by Dutch painters, as there were many Dutch settlers that came to the New World. These paintings also had to do with display of their status, but the Puritan view was to maintain a simple and basic approach that was not ostentatious. So there is information here in regard to this, because of the ban on public religious imagery, one could not reveal one's devotion through commissioning of altar pieces or public religious art. So this would be a contextual influence, stylistically speaking. Again, the Calvinist preacher and the stylistic influences here relate back to Dutch painters. So the style has its origins here by going back to Europe and looking at the influence of Dutch painters. And the context, again, places us in the 17th century in the United States, before the United States, in the colonies, with Puritan viewpoints that, again, had a ban on religious imagery and also had a ban on more ostentatious imagery. As we look forward through this section, you'll see, for example, this particular work here is from the south of southern colonies. This one comes from Baltimore. And there is a much more clear display of wealth that has a direct relationship to the wealth portrayed of individuals in England at the time. So again, stylistically speaking, there is a connection to the English artists of the time. Contextually speaking, displays the idea of the fact that there were slave owners, displays the pomp and circumstance and wealth that is associated with them at this time. So it sets up the idea of the southern plantations, and you'll see that information is provided by the textbook. When you look at an image such as this one, if you were assigned this, Benjamin West, The Death of General Wolfe, this is from the French and Indian War. The death of General Wolfe here by Benjamin West is portrayed in a manner that is Christ-like, from paintings that showed Christ being taken down from the cross, which shows its stylistic influences. Its basic concept is a history painting, and these types of paintings were typically glorifications of past histories, usually associated with Greece and Rome. But here, West uses contemporary setting to place General Wolfe at the actual battle in which he died. So again, I'm looking for your post to contain information on the time period itself, the context of the time period, as well as the stylistic influences on the particular artist. Your post should include the image that you're focused on, this one for example, and any supporting images the book may provide you, or if you do a search online to demonstrate a supporting image in regard to the stylistic influences. So that's a quick look at the basic procedures for the course. Again, each weekly unit will be set up in the same manner. At this point, I haven't quite completed week 2 and 3, but I plan to have them done hopefully over the weekend. Each unit will have an exam, as I already stated. So the first exam will be for next weekend. So I hope this provided you with a bit of basic information to get you started in the course. I look forward to seeing all of your posts in the discussion board. The first thing I would like everyone to do is to introduce yourself here. So once you get started on the course,